Hey guys, it's Muppet Supreme here, and it's really good to see everybody. I hope this is going to be a really cool video for you guys. I want to try something a little bit different, right? And I mean different in like a really broad sense. At least, I hope. So if you guys, just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash the subscribe button on this channel. And turn on the notifications so you get a notification every time we post a new video. I'm hoping to be doing this relatively regularly, so the idea is that this will be something that's kind of ongoing and useful for you guys. The other thing is you can check out the link for our Discord and our Twitch. I will have those links posted again in the description below, so do check those out. So, what am I doing? So that's kind of the primary question in life, right? What am I doing? Well, specifically when it comes to this video and this series, what I want to do is something of a how to become a streamer, how to become a YouTube thing, but we're doing this from a really different perspective. Okay, so and there's kind of a lot of assumptions that go into this, right? So obviously I don't know what's going to happen. This channel could crash and burn. Everything within this whole situation could crash and burn. That's something that I'm acknowledging. That's something I'm aware of up front. That being said, I think this will still be useful even if that happens. So the reason I want to do this is because as I've started out, so I've been streaming about the last month and a half, roughly. And we've reached a couple of really important milestones. Just this past week, we made affiliate. This is great. Got up to 60 followers. This is great. And we have the first sub on my channel just yesterday at the time of recording. So there's a lot of important milestones there, but we're still very much at the beginning of this whole process, right? So this will be one of the first YouTube videos that I post on the YouTube channel. I'm looking at kind of starting up some other things, but we don't have them totally set yet. So as always, it is a process, right? Here's the thing though, is as I've been going through this process, I've been learning a lot of things from other YouTubers, from people who have done this already, and there's kind of the standard process, right? In order for me to even find their video, just for them to be popular enough for them to show up in the algorithm or whatever for my recommended views, they've already made it, right? And a lot of times they'll start this kind of series after they've already made it. So what I want to do this a little bit differently. On the possibly false assumption that this does actually make it, I want to start this right now. I want to start this at the beginning and say, okay, here's where we are. I'm currently a nobody, right? And I may always be a nobody. That's okay if that's the way that works out, but I want to show the process from my perspective as an average person, as someone who knows nothing about this industry, show what it's like to learn how to do this, right? Because it is a process, it is a learning experience, it is a whole new set of skills. This is not what I'm trained in. This is not, I don't do media anything. So I want to show you guys what that looks like for your average person as it's happening, right? So you guys get to learn right along with me. I will be posting new videos, I assume, relatively regularly so that you can see exactly how quickly this happens. And hopefully you can learn from the things I learn and my mistakes and all of this kind of thing earlier rather than later. So with any luck, this will be the kind of thing where you can look at it and say, okay, so he did this and it worked or it didn't work, and here's what's happening. Let me try and apply whatever I can from this to my Twitch career, to my YouTube career, whatever. And hopefully this will make it a little bit easier for other average people out there who have no training in this. So all that being said, that's a really long intro, I totally get it. What are some of the things that I've learned so far about streaming, about building a system, a channel on Twitch, right? Because that's kind of where this has primarily been so far. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, right? So I started off with Twitch Studios, which is still currently in beta, and it's a good program, but I've kind of switched over to Streamlabs. Just because of some of the extra functionality that they have. Twitch Studio, is so new that while it's a very good product and I'm really, really excited to see where they go with it, the software is just not as powerful as a lot of other things yet, so there's still some limitations there. So that's one of the things that I've dealt with, is working with different software. I've also worked with learning how to do different bots and all of this stuff. By the way, if you want to hear in more detail kind of how this worked for me, I can give you, again, kind of the average Joe's experience, but you'll have to drop that in the comments down below, or it may not happen. Depends entirely on how much this is going to, where this whole system goes. So if I mention something and you're like, hey, I want to hear more about that, do let me know, because I do want to know that. The other thing is, I've learned a couple of really important principles, and this is just in general about streaming on Twitch, and I think anyone would tell you this, but bizarrely, I don't know that I've heard this emphasized as much as it really should be. So chat is everything, right? You need to interact with your chat. Obviously, there are some channels where that is kind of not the point, right? Like, if you're not doing the kind of content where that works, fine, right? There's obviously exceptions to everything, and there is artistic value in anything. So if that's not what you do, I get it. Just understand that there, at least from what I can tell, there are going to be some drawbacks to that. Having that connection with your chat not only makes it better for you as a streamer, but it does make things easier in general. It attracts people to it. It's something that I know when I go to a new channel, I'm looking at the chat, right? That is literally the first thing. Like, I look at the streamer, yes, but I actually look at the chat more than anything, because I want to know what kind of environment this streamer creates. And for me, as a viewer, that's one of the most important things. What kind of environment did you create? Your content has to be engaging, yes. Your content has to be interesting, yes. If you're great at whatever it is you do, that makes it even better. Which puts me in an awkward position, because I do typically World of Tanks streams. I'm not the best World of Tanks player. You can see, like, literally in the top left corner, if you look on my screen, you can see my statistics. They're completely average, right? And that being said, though, I think that in this case is part of the appeal. I like to think that that's something that my viewers come back for, is just seeing a regular guy play a game, have a good time, right? Sell the stock modules. Wait, are you hold on. Are you telling me? How have I gone this long? And I didn't know you could do that. But like I said, the chat is for me the biggest thing, and this actually kind of leads us into another point, right? So point one is chat is everything. You need to be paying attention to your chat. This is something that I learned. I started out doing my best with that, and obviously it's really, really, really hard when you're just starting out and there's no one in chat. I get that. That's rough. It goes on like that for a few weeks at least. I'll let you guys know that up front. It's taken me a while to get any regulars or anything like that who are in the chat a lot, and I appreciate them a lot. They're awesome. When you do finally get that, it's a really good feeling, right? And you need to keep that energy up. You need to keep those relationships up, because they are what make your channel. You don't make the channel, your viewers do, right? That's just the fact of it. So this is where I'm leading into my second point. Make something that you want to watch. When I started my stream, what I was thinking was, okay, well, I'm playing this game a lot, particularly World of Tanks, and then some other things as well. Maybe Skyrim and this kind of thing occasionally. Just entirely dependent on my mood, guys. And my thinking was, okay, what is it that I want to see, right? Because when I go into the World of Tanks, like streamers and YouTubers and all this kind of thing, a lot of what I get is Unicum players, people who are really, really good at the game. In fact, a lot of times that's just their advertising. And I'm not trying to like point fingers at anybody. This is a great strategy. If you're very good at a game, that does help you. It does. It just so happens that for me, I'm kind of tired of that. You know, I wanted to see what it's like for an average person to play. I want to watch someone like myself play the game and just have a good time. And yeah, I'm trying to improve constantly, obviously. But that being said, my skill in the game is really not the primary point of my content, right? Like, it's, like I say, it's a learning experience, and I like to have that learning experience, and I learn from my chat all the time. Bringing it back around to that. But make the content that you want to see, right? In my case, I want to see a really calm, relaxed person playing a game, having a good time, and I don't necessarily care about their skill level as long as they're an interesting person to talk to, and that's the environment that I try and create. Now, obviously, you can decide or not whether you think my content's interesting. That's entirely up to you. But my point is, whatever you're doing should reflect what you want to see. It's something that will allow you to be more passionate about it, allow you to be more excited about it, allow you to interact with your chat better, and allow you to create something that is different from everything around you. because likely whatever you want to see, whatever you feel like you're missing, is missing in a real way, and that's something that you can fill that niche, you can fill that, and likely if you want to do it, if you want to see it, other people do too. So that's another thing that I've learned throughout this whole process. So a couple of things, right? Just to recap, chat is everything, and do what you want to see. Make the content that you want to watch, because that's how you're gonna get the best content. That's just a fact of it. I can't think of any Twitch streamer or YouTuber or anything that hates their content that I still watch, right? Like maybe for a few videos, and then after a while you kind of get that feeling and you're like, I don't think so. So you want to keep that up. You want to keep it something that is engaging to you, something that you actually want to be seeing, because again, odds are if you want it, so do other people. Then there's kind of a third thing that I have learned just, again, in the very beginning stages of this. You do want to make this look as professional as possible. And this kind of ties into the second point of making what you want to see. Hey guys! So it's me in editing. I just wanted to quickly apologize for the state of the numbers on the side of the screen because they're not left aligned. I know that, and as far as I can tell, there's nothing I can do about it. I'll try and figure it out in future videos. In the meantime, because if I go to a streamer and I see that their channel is not well set up, like the graphic is right, maybe the branding doesn't really have anything to do with their name or with their style or anything like that, or maybe it's just disorganized, or maybe there's just not a lot there, right? These are all like really common problems that I notice that bother me as a viewer. Again, I'm not an expert in this, but if anything, that I think makes my opinion a little bit more valid, just because I have the same experience that anyone else would. I go to a channel and I say, hey, what's going on? And the first thing I see is, you know, their bio, I see their information, I see their about stuff, I see their schedule, I see all of that. And if that is disorganized or seems like maybe not a lot of effort has been put into it, or again, going back to the chat thing, if I see that they've created an environment that is either toxic or just not interesting, or I don't know, any of those kinds of problems, that turns me off as a viewer, that sends me away. This is something that I'm trying desperately to incorporate into my own work. I'm not going to claim that I've done it perfectly. I'm not going to claim that it's at its final stages. There's lots of things in my content that I still want to fix, because it is an ongoing process, it is a learning process, and when it comes to like making YouTube videos like this, at the time of recording, I literally started learning video editing within the last week, within the last few days. I know next to nothing about this, right? And you will see that. That will be painfully obvious. But at the same time, with those guiding principles of, you know, chat is everything, make what you want to see and put some effort into it, I think those would be the three things that, as of right now, I would say those are the biggest things that I've learned, is really you just need to be doing those three things. Those three things will carry you a long way. So that's all I have to say about that for today. I know that went a little bit long. I hope that was useful to you guys. If you want to see more of this content, do please drop me a line. Show me in the content, or in the show me in the comments what it is you want to be seeing, because that's important to me, right? I want this to be the kind of series that is really helpful to everybody else who's in the same position I am. We can learn about this as we go along. We can learn about this as a community, and we can turn this into something that is, I think, going to be really valuable later on, if this becomes something bigger than what it currently is. Again, if. I would like this to be something where we can look back at this. Maybe I'll look back at this and cringe and say, ugh, there were some things going on there that I would change that. I was wrong about this, you know, whatever. We'll find out. That's kind of what I want this to be, is I want this to be a learning process, and I want that learning process to be displayed for everybody so that everybody else can also learn. And again, hopefully not make the same mistakes that I am making and will make. This is something where you guys can look at this and say, all right, here's an average guy. He learned how to do this from scratch. Here's what he did. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't. I want you to take, you know, what works, what doesn't, what little you get out of this, whatever it is. I want this to be useful to everybody here, you know, not just on YouTube, but on Twitch, on whatever platform you're using. I want to make this as useful as I can. I want to be as helpful as I can. So anyway, guys, that being said, once again, this is Muppet Supreme. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can do that down below. Turn on the notifications. You can also check out our Twitch and our YouTube, or our Discord. All of the things, you can find them down below. Do sign up for, if you follow the channel on Twitch, do sign up for notifications on that as well, so you'll know when I go live. I try and keep to a schedule, but sometimes I'm early, sometimes stuff happens, so that will keep you informed. Anyways, that's all I have for you today, and thank you very, very much for tuning in and checking out whatever this is going to be. I hope to catch you around next time.